Hey guys, Tisha here, and we're back for another review of The Sister Wives. Let me start off by saying that it seems like, to me, this episode dragged a little bit. Like, we were given some important information, but I just want to get to next week when Janelle's gonna fuss at Kody. Like, that's the part that I want to see. Anyways, we pick up the episode seeing Christine and Kody meeting up to talk, and him saying that he's still angry. Christine says that Kody's been angry and mad for a long time. Kody in confessional said that he is mostly mad at Christine, not necessarily for leaving, but for talking badly about him to the children. Which Kody has yet to say what exactly Christine has said that has been so bad, but I'm assuming that he's mad at Christine because she told the children the truth as to why she left. Let's also remember that these children that he's talking about are only children when it's convenient for him, because we've seen previously where he said that he needed to be there for Ari and Saul because they were the little ones. The older ones didn't need him so much. So it's interesting how now that Christine is telling her truth to the children, it's a problem. And their children. Christine says that it's not that she's talking badly about Kody, but it's that she's become a sounding board to the children, unlike Kody. Basically, Christine is a light and Kody doesn't like it. Look at how the boys responded last season to Christine not going to be there for the holidays. They immediately said that they wanted to go wherever Christine went. So that kind of shows the way that they move when it comes to Christine. He said that Christine is the type who plays nice with you while she's stabbing you in the back. Basically, Kody's a victim, this whole thing. He lets Christine know because she's asking him, like, what's going on? How's he feeling? He says he's grieving a lot. He's grieving over the loss of the big picture. What is the big picture? Is the big picture the one house? Is the big picture Coyote Pass? Is the big picture you trying to make America feel like polygamy is such a great thing, even though you've yet to show us, since being on the show, what's so great about it? Like, we've heard what's so great about it, but we've seen more of the things that aren't. So what's the loss of the big picture? And even with that, you care more about this big picture than you did about the smaller picture, which was your wife, Christine. He says that he's annoyed by Christine because she's acting like in every way since leaving that her life is better than it's ever been. Kody is not an act. You guys, look at Christine. To me, Christine looks like there's a weight that's been lifted off of her. She actually looks younger. There's a different sparkle in her eye. Like, you can tell that she's in a different place. So Kody, even though you think that Christine is trying to make it seem like she's happier than she really is, please understand, she legitimately, I believe, is happy. He says that he feels like they need post-breakup counseling. And I said in big caps, oh, so now you want to do it? We knew for a long time, like, at some points with different wives, Kody didn't want to do counseling. He said he would do it, but he wouldn't do it. Kody, you need to do counseling by yourself. And you need to be with someone who's going to call you out on your mess. Robyn says that she believes that Kody needs it and that she would be willing to do it, because if that's what the family needs, then that's what she would do. Because, Robyn always has to seem like just the perfect wife. I just want whoever the counselor is to be a legitimate counselor, not somebody that Kody finds, because he mentioned that he would see if somebody could practice in their area or whatever. But I don't know. He hopes that from the counseling that he could eventually hope to forgive her, but he won't ever trust her. And you don't need to trust her. You just need to be able to co-parent effectively with your ex-wife to make sure that everything is all right with your daughter, who is still a minor. We see Robyn in confessionals talking about Kody and his mental sunshine, and how he, just because of how optimistic he is, he missed the red flags, like Christine moving out his things. I don't think he missed the red flags. I think that he didn't care. I think that he thought that Christine would continue to be a doormat, and that Christine wouldn't have moved as quickly as she did, which wasn't really that quick, but to get out of Flagstaff and be like out of there. But Christine fooled Kody with that. Christine lets Kody know that she eventually wants to be friends, and his face says it all. He's bitter. He's not going to be able to be friends with you. He's too upset. They end their lunch with her saying that I'll let you know the next time that I come into town with Truly. It should be in a couple weeks. So Christine, every time he's seen Truly, has it been because you've come to Flagstaff? You mean at this point, we know that you've been gone for at least 2 months, that he's known for a year that you wanted to be divorced, and he hasn't even made an effort to see his child? It always involves you coming to him? Speaks volumes. Robyn said that she just doesn't understand how it led to this, that nothing that happened between the two of them could have been that much of a deal breaker. And I got so upset when she said that, because number one, you're not a part of their marriage. But we're just going to go off of the little bit that we've seen. So him saying that he has been in a loveless marriage for years, that isn't a deal breaker. Him making his daughter suffer for years with her back pain from her scoliosis, and him continuing to want to put off a surgery and put off a surgery and put off a surgery isn't a deal breaker. Him deciding that he is not going to go to this surgery that was going to be done on her spine. Then let's be really serious. Anything that involves the spine is extremely serious. Heck, surgery alone is serious, but he didn't want to go. Him withholding intimacy from his wife and doing things with her when he felt like doing it, that's not a deal breaker. So how is it that you don't understand that all these different things for all these years have turned into deal breakers? You sound really foolish. Are you in the same state as Kody with your perpetual sunshine? Because I don't understand, Robyn, how you're not seeing the flags. We get a montage of everybody and what they're doing for Thanksgiving, and basically all the family is split up, with it just being Robyn and Mary and family, Maddie and Caleb and Isabel and Janelle and them in one house. And then we know that Christine and Truly went to see Aspen. Kind of the same, similar situation, I guess, as the year before. Janelle is talking on FaceTime, making rolls, Christine's famous rolls, and she's saying how basically they're having such a good time during Thanksgiving that she kind of feels guilty for enjoying herself. And Janelle, I don't feel like you should feel guilty for enjoying yourself. You deserve this. As much as you sacrifice for the family and to make Kody feel somewhat like he's in control, you deserve this. Christine lets us know that the family has been hurting for a long time, that it's been 12 years. Kody then immediately wants to protect Robyn and say that the shakeup didn't come from Robyn, it came from going public. And Kody, I will say that going public did have something to do with it, but I'm going to say like 20% of it had something to do with it, and 80% had something to do with Robyn. Because we saw what happened, how it happened. Robyn became the focal point of a lot of things. The decision making, Robyn was first preference on a lot of stuff. Like I look back at when you guys moved to Vegas and how she was one of the first people that you wanted to make sure got a rental property because of how much her children had been through with moving and all that other stuff. They went from being with their father to now being in a dwelling that was up the street from you all to now moving to Vegas. But your family that we've heard has moved like what, over 20 times? So you don't think that that's done something with them too? Or the debt that they had to clear for Robyn, or Mary having to get divorced, which is a whole bunch of hubba jubba because y'all just wanted to get Robyn's ex out of the picture and have him sign off for his rights so you can adopt. Like there were so many different things that happened that it shows that it was much more than what it was. Christine had a problem, and so did Janelle, with the way things were done. From the very beginning, before you got married, going public has helped you guys get out of poverty. The show has helped you. So it may have put some light to things, and maybe you had to move out of Utah because there was a judgment put against you and all this other stuff. But we're not going to sit here and act like that's the main reason. Kody claims that Janelle is acting like the enemy because she's hanging out with Christine. So her hanging out with one of her sister wives equates to her being the enemy. When you got mad at Christine for saying that she wanted to keep things the same with Mary and she wanted to keep things the same with Robyn. So if she hung out with Mary and Robyn, would you feel the same way? Or is it just because it's Janelle? Because you know that her and Janelle were already close. Robyn talks again about how her kids don't understand why the family doesn't care. When finding out that the family once again wasn't going to be having Thanksgiving with them. And it just makes me wonder what Robyn's telling them, because we've seen Robyn lie or use things that are said out of context on this show before. So who's to say that she didn't tell her children, her older kids, something crazy in regards to the family not coming? Like, are you telling them the full scope of things, that one of the reasons why they aren't allowed to come is because they've been made to feel uncomfortable in your home? Kody talks about how in reflecting for Thanksgiving, sitting there Thanksgiving Day, that he wishes that they got things straight before the holidays. But Kody, you're the reason why things aren't straight. You're the reason why things aren't okay. You keep playing victim and trying to act like this is a dictatorship and your children have to fall into place. He makes a statement that he hopes they can get things better and that he's looking for love and devotion. And if that's what you're looking for, it's not going to happen, because your kids are not going to be devoted to you. They're adults. You aren't God. They don't have to follow your every command. Your role in their life has changed. And unfortunately, you've made it worse by how you've treated them over the years. Christine said that she's noticing that Janelle is where she was last year. Like last year, the holidays were kind of hard for her because she was freshly leaving and she didn't quite know where she stood. And she's seeing that in Janelle, that Janelle and Kody are kind of struggling. We see Paedon come over to his mom's house, and they talk about how, Paedon feels about Christine, moving to Utah and all those things. And Paedon says that he's basically happy for his mom, that him along with a lot of the other kids have issues with his father, and that basically from what he's saying, it seems like Christine wasn't aware of the issues back then as she is now. So it sounds like the children are telling her more of the things that they have problems with now that they're older. He said that basically the kids have chosen a side, and he mentions that Janelle's kids and Christine's kids are on Christine's side. And one thing that I noticed is that while they were talking, every time Paedon said something negative about Kody, that Christine still kind of protected Kody. So she's saying that things are so bad, but yet, even with things being so bad, she's still protecting him. Paedon is bringing up some of the things, some of the issues. He's talking about how Dad didn't even want you to go to the funeral. And I just keep, you didn't want her to go to the funeral, but you went to a wedding. Did they show us things out of context? Like, did we not see the video in the right lineup? Because how is it that you did some of these things, but you aren't wanting her to go to a funeral? We then find out that Logan sent a text message to all the kids saying that he wanted to do a gift exchange, and it was recommended to add the adults in there. And Robyn decided that before they did the gift exchange that they wanted to do a video chat, a Zoom. Janelle brings up the fact that it's not that the kids didn't want to get on Zoom, it's that the children have a lot of things going on, like they have lives and stuff, and the time just didn't add up. I think it's a combination of both. I think that the children did not want to get on Zoom because they didn't feel like dealing with Robyn. I think that they added Robyn to the group chat as a courtesy, and that Robyn made it more complicated than it needed to be. Unlike Robyn, these kids have jobs, so they didn't have time. They could have tried to make time, but with that many kids, I'm sure it has to be difficult. So I'm going to stick, okay, I'm with the kids here. Robyn was doing too much. It then turned into a whole blame game, and Robyn saying they're outsiders, and I'm not going to repeat everything that was said because Robyn started doing a bunch of fake crying, but everybody was basically telling their grievances in the chat, and it just turned into something that it wasn't supposed to be, and now they're not doing it. Robyn brings up the fact that she feels like it is the mother's responsibility to make sure that the kids have a good relationship with their father. And Christine says it is her responsibility to make sure that she has a good relationship with her children. And it's Kody's responsibility to make sure that he has a good relationship with his children. And I agree. I remember when I first separated with my child's father, one of the things that I kept doing was I kept like overexerting myself trying to make sure that they remained in each other's lives, and I was making sure that if he needed me to drop him off somewhere or meet him halfway or whatever, all these things, I did it to the extreme, to the point where I was wearing myself out trying to make sure that I kept that relationship solid. And then I got to a point where my child had a phone, and I just felt like it was no longer my responsibility to make that situation work. It's up to the adult in the situation to do that. And I see that Kody relies too heavily on the wives doing this, yet he still wants to be the head, but you're not doing things that the head is supposed to do. Christine brings up that she doesn't feel like Robyn has ever lived plural marriage. And I'll be honest, Christine, you're right. She hasn't ever lived plural marriage, because the way that she grew up in plural marriage was different from what you all did. If I remember correctly, Robyn stated that one of the things that she liked about the family is how close they were together, because growing up, her father was married to several wives and they lived in different states with their family. So they went longer periods of time without seeing her father. So to the point where every time her father came over, like her mother made sure that it was the best time ever because they didn't know how long the next visit, the gap would be between the next time that he saw, his family. So Robyn's view on plural marriage is kind of skewed. Also, this was Robyn's first plural marriage. She did not have a plural marriage with her ex-husband. So the fact that Kody is acting as if Robyn is just the go-to on plural marriage is very interesting to me. Christine said that she left Kody because you could see that he had favorites and that the kids see that he had favorites. So we then cut to Kody being really overly excited because he's going to take Aurora to get her ears pierced. So even though it's the pandemic, Aurora can go get her ears pierced. They do this whole montage about Kody and earrings and how he didn't like earrings. This one wearing earrings, and that one wearing earrings. So this one took out her earrings and this one took out her earrings. And then Robyn made a deal that, I'll take out my earrings if you let me have Christmas. And then they just stuck to this whole thing about it. And I just was like, okay, this lighthearted moment is really irritating me because Kody gets so excited about things involving Robyn's kids. Example, Ariella going to school for her first day when you were so adamant about Isabel not going to school to the point where you're like, well, if she goes back to school, I'm not going to be able to come over there. You got to know that this has to be hurtful to your other children. I see the difference. So I know they see the difference. He talks about how Aurora has a deep appreciation and for him, and she respects him, and how that is just that it makes him happy. We see that Christine is back in Flagstaff, and we find out she comes to Flagstaff every 10 to 14 days. And of course, while she's there, she has to see Janelle. She says she goes there for business, which I don't understand what business you have there, but okay. Janelle and her talking about the state of things, and Janelle says that Kody used to be a very engaged father, but she's seen a difference in him and the time that he spent with his family. She said that the blending of the family isn't easy, and that maybe they missed some things and some stuff fell in the cracks. And that she's learned now that it's been harder on her kids than she even realized. According to Kody, the only people who welcomed Robyn when the blending of the family occurred was Robyn and Mary. And I wonder if it's because you didn't include them in the process. I wonder if it's because although Christine wanted to be the third and final wife, that you decided to add a fourth wife. Or I wonder if it's because you didn't tell them about dating her until after you were dating her. It was you and Mary and her secret. I wonder if it's because they had to accept this person who now took away time from them and their kids, because now the rotation has gone from 3 to 4. I wonder if it's because after you just had your child, matter of fact, you courted another woman while your wife was pregnant. How disrespectful is that? Not only that, you go on a honeymoon shortly after your wife had a child. How disrespectful is that? It's like you did all these things and then you wonder why stuff just wasn't right. Christine talks about how Mykelti has been talking a lot with Robyn and her kids, and that they're saying a lot about how they weren't accepted and things of that nature. And I really don't like how Mykelti, I don't know, something about Mykelti rubs me wrong in regards to this Robyn situation, because at the end of the day, I don't care how many years you stay with Robyn being her nanny. You had to have seen how these people have treated your mom. And it's just interesting to me that you continue to like communicate so much with her. But I can't say what to do, not my situation. Kody says that he wants to clear things up with his family and get things on a better track, but you haven't called them to do that, so I don't believe that. Janelle expresses that she doesn't know where she stands with Kody. She doesn't even know if it's worth the work. She said first the reason why they couldn't get together was because of COVID, and now they can't get together because of these issues, because they're saying that all that has to get sorted out first. He's getting angrier about the kids. He wants the kids to respect him. And I said, once again, they're not kids. They're adults, some of whom are married with children, and they started families of their own. I just feel like we're going to see more of Kody playing the victim. I like that Christine is so happy. I can't wait for Janelle to get out of there, and even Mary, because it just doesn't make sense to continue to waste your time, ladies, honestly. Let him have Robyn and let them figure out that money situation. Maybe Robyn will actually get a job. I don't know. Anyways, you guys, let me know how you feel about this episode. Did we like it? Do we feel like we got more? I still want TLC to speed it up a little bit, because we're very, very behind, like extremely behind, and it's crazy to me. Anyways, thanks for joining me. Like, comment, subscribe. Until next time.